Hi everyone, how's it going? It's been a while since I've been on this live and I've talked about, gang stalking stuff. It feels like it's been a while anyway. And I feel like the reason it's been a while is because I've been focused on other things and I've been focused on more positive stuff. Um, I've talked a lot about the US election. I've talked a lot about that, and I'm kind of in and out of talking about that. But the same way that a lot of black women are the same way that a lot of black women are kind of taking a step back when it comes to participating in the world. I'm kind of doing the same thing, not only as a black woman but also as a ti. I'm kind of taking a step back from everything because I've talked as much as I can about what's going on in the world. So for me, when it comes to that, there's nothing really left to say. So knowing that, instead I've just been thinking about healing aspects of my past that needed to be healed. And there's a couple of things that I've realized that I want to share with you guys. And it's not just because I want to use this as a video diary, although it absolutely is a video diary. It's also in the hopes that somebody will watch this and they will understand exactly what I mean when I say the following. The first thing I learned is that love doesn't weaken you. People will tell you that caring about people weakens you, that loving people weakens you, that it makes you soft, that unless you're completely unforgiving and completely selfish and completely vicious, that you're nothing and no one in this world, that, you're just weak and you're easily fooled. But no, that is not the case at all. I found that is not the case. That is not the case at all. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that I realize the root of a lot of my anger comes from the fact that I still love a good chunk of people who have hurt and betrayed me, and I don't want to love them. I'm sure they feel the same way about me. I'm sure they do, but that's how I feel. But that love that I don't want to have, that care that I don't want to have, it was never weakening me. It was never disempowering me. It's not a disempowering thing to care about the humanity of people that you don't like. It's not a disempowering thing to love your enemies. Because when you love your enemies, what you're basically doing is you're loving the shadow part of yourself. And that's what I realized. My natural instinct as a kid was always to love my enemies, not openly, but in my own mind. Because inwardly, I was very passive. Inwardly, I had this attitude of loving my enemies. A lot of the people in my life that I have wanted to love me or I've claimed to want to love me have actually been people that would have been my enemies. Do you understand what I mean? Because that's the mentality that I always had when I was younger, loving your enemies. And, showing them that, you don't take their, oh, hey, Lauren, hold on. The sending Grand Rising. Hey, beautiful. Okay, so that's Lauren Birch. Okay, so yeah, I just learned that loving my enemies is something that was always inbuilt in me as a person and inbuilt in me as a human being, like to love my enemies. Don't get it twisted. There were times where I would take it too far, but for the most part, I realized that having that love, it doesn't make you a bad person. And I realized that in me clinging to toxic relationships, like I explained in the narcissistic post, clinging to toxic relationships is something that you actually do out of hatred for yourself and for the person that you're clinging to. It's something that you do out of hatred. It's something that you do out of fear. You don't cling to your own hurt out of love. That's not why you do it. You cling out of hatred. It might feel like love because of the misappropriation of arousal factor. It might feel like love when you cling to a toxic relationship and you feel all the butterflies and stuff that go with it. It might feel like that, but it's not. It's not love. It's not love at all. It's fear. And it can be hatred. Remember that I'm going to use an analogy here, and I want you to stay with me on this one. As I said in my Facebook post about narcissism, clinging is something that a snake does in order to kill its prey. So when the prey walks into its vicinity, the snake coils around the prey and it clings. It clings in a bid to strangulate its prey. And when you cling to superficial relationships, that's what we end up doing with one another when we stay in toxic relationships. We end up clinging until one person relinquishes. Until one person relinquishes or one person leaves the relationship. That's the act of like subconsciously killing the person or like metaphorically killing the person. It's clinging to the person until they break. It's clinging to the person until they just acquiesce and they fold, or it's clinging to the person until they have no choice but to run the hell away from their own safety. When somebody brings out those toxic feelings in us and we cling to that person, it doesn't matter if you're a narc or if you're a victim of the narc. When you cling to something or someone that you hate, you're trying to stifle the life out of them. And it's usually, again, until they break emotionally, until they acquiesce or go limp, or until they leave the situation. So when you stay in toxic relationships, you're not doing it out of love. It's a lethal instinct to cling to a toxic relationship. And I'm not saying this out of judgment because I've done the same thing. I've clung out of hatred. So I don't say this like, I don't say this as a way to judge people. I don't say it as a way to make people feel bad. But, clinging can be a deadly instinct that kicks in when we're at our most fearful, or subconsciously when we hate something so much that we don't want it to exist anymore, or we don't want it to have that power over us, so we cling to it. And I realized that when I started showing compassion towards my enemies and forgiving my enemies, that instinct to cling, it didn't just free them, it freed me as well. Because if I don't need to cling to that, if I don't need to cling to something that I don't like, it leaves me free to pursue the things that I do love. That's how I know when I really love someone, when I'm willing to let them go and let them do what they need to do. That's how I know I really love someone, when I'm willing to let them go, when I'm willing to let them free, when I'm willing to let them do whatever it is that they need to do. That's how I know that I truly love someone. That's how I know that I truly want them to succeed in life, when I let them be who they are. The irony is that a lot of people let me go for the opposite reason. They didn't let me go because they love me. But it feels like love to me because I know what it's like to be in the presence of people who cling to you because they want you to fold or they want you to break. I know what it's like to be in the presence of people who do that. So when there are people in your life who don't want to do that, it feels like love even when it isn't. I lost my train of thought now. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, like it's weird when you're in a relationship and you cling. It's a lethal instinct. It's not a loving one. And coming back to the loving my enemies thing, um, it made me realize how I've related to my family. And again, I've talked a lot of shit about my family, but there's a saying that goes that words are who we pretend to be and actions are who we actually are. And every time I come off this live, I can say to you guys that, I know some of my family are betraying me, and they are. They are. Let's be absolutely clear on that. There are a lot of family members that I know are betraying me. But as soon as I come off this phone, when I tell these people that I love them, I absolutely fucking mean it. I just don't want to mean it. I don't want to love these people. I don't want to love the same people that have, joined in a program that is facilitating my torture and that is facilitating my death. I don't want to love these people, but I do. And it's something that I make peace with. And it's something that I understand. It's something that I make peace with. It's something that it doesn't really bother me anymore. It used to bother me because I used to feel like I was a weakling for feeling this way. But now I realize it's not weak. It just is what it is. And plus, I'm on my own anyway. I'm on my own. So what else am I going to do? You understand what I mean? And, it's just one of those things where you have to make peace with not only what's been done to you, but also what you've done as well. Because as much as I know that there are family members betraying me, I also understand that when it comes to certain members of my family, from my perspective, it's not even just members of my family, but it's other people that I could have been in the position to protect, to nurture, to guide, I had the chance to treat people who really cared about me the way I wanted to be treated by people I cared about. I had the opportunity to do that and I failed. I failed. And more than anybody else's treatment towards me, what really eats me up is through all the pain that I've suffered in my life, through all the heartache that I've suffered in my life, that instead of learning from how those people made me feel, instead of learning from that, I instead transferred that anger onto people that I should have been protecting. I know how it sounds with me saying that. I know how it sounds. It sounds bad. But I feel bad for failing to protect people that I should have been protecting. I feel bad for that, and I feel a certain amount of guilt for that. Because, what I try to do is I try to treat people how I want to be treated, not how I was treated. But then that anger comes out and it's horrible. It really is horrible. And, I've hurt, the way I've hurt people might not match the pain that I've been put through. It doesn't match it at all. But I am acutely aware of how I've hurt people. Even if it's just a fraction of what I went through, I'm acutely aware of how I hurt people. And that actually hurts me more than what's been done to me. That hurts me more than what's been done to me. I don't like this idea of coming to the world and making other people miserable. That's not something that I enjoy. I mean, maybe when it's the gang stalkers, but then again, that's a really serious situation we're talking about. We're talking about people who are literally trafficking and torturing me. So that's a completely different enterprise. But when you get out of the gang stalking and you think about people who weren't even involved in doing that, like from my knowledge anyway, they could have been involved. But I just hate when it is not in your blood to hate them because they hate us. We have love that runs deeper than our own blood kinfolks. You still win because your love can't be changed from day to day. I'm not going to hold you, Lauren. If anything, it's grown. If anything, it's grown over the years. I'm really shocked at that, because at the end of the day, like, going through the kind of shit that we go through, you expect that love to shrink, you expect that love to die down, but it just hasn't done that. It has not done that. If anything, it's grown. It's grown to a level where I can, I can look at situations objectively, and I can judge them objectively without taking it personally. You know, we do have a love that stands. We do have a love that stands strong, and it's, yeah, we do have that. We do have that, and it is, and you're right, Lauren. You're absolutely right. It's a winning mentality. It's a winning mentality. But yes, what was I gonna say? Yeah, um, that the fact that I'm not able to protect as many people as I want to protect, the fact that I'm not able to help as many people as I want to help, the fact that the only way I can really help people is to be there for myself. That's really hard. That's a really hard pill to swallow. It's really, really difficult, because I want to do more. But my emotions let me down, my hormones let me down, and then I've got the torture to deal with. I want to do more. There's so much more that I want to do. There's so much more that I've wanted to do for decades. But it just seems like everything within me and around me has let me down in that sense. But yeah, more than anything, that's what I feel bad about. I feel more terrible about the people that I didn't protect than the hurt that I went through. And when I say that, I actually include my inner child on this one. I feel bad that I didn't protect her. But I guess I'm making up for it now. I guess I am. You know? I guess I'm making up for it now, but it's just very hard. Not gonna lie. I think it was love that made me want to be independent, that made me want to strive out on my own. And I feel like the people around me kind of misunderstood that and thought that I wanted to be away from them because I hated them. I think I even thought that, actually, but no. When I actually started valuing the people around me, that's what made me realize, no, I actually want to stand on my own 2 feet. I actually want to do my own thing. Out of love, that's what I want to do. You know, that's what I want to do. So, like, love is the reason why my life is the way it is. I'm saying, whoo. Love is the reason why my life is the way it is. Love is the reason why I'm on my own. And truth be told, truth be told, if love is the reason why I'm by myself, I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, Lauren, man. If love is the reason why I'm by myself, if love is the reason why I'm independent, if love is the reason why I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, love all day. If it was out of hatred, that'd be different. But if it's out of love, baby, I'm good with that. I'm more than good. I am so good. I'm just sorry that I'm not as strong as I could be, or as loving as I could be to those who needed me in the past and who may need me in the future. I'm just sorry about that. That's all. That's all. And I realize that's probably why I have to look after myself. And that's what, yeah, love will forever conquer hate. Love is all there is. Love is, love is the point. Love is the point. Without love, nothing would exist. It just is what it is. Hate is just small. It's a thing that shrinks people. Why the fuck would I want to be engaged in that? Why would I want to be engaged in that? Hate makes you small. Makes you overly attached. Why would I want that? Forget that noise. Yeah. If love is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, then let it run. I'm good. I'm good. And the more I follow love's direction, the more it would lead me into places that I'm supposed to be. That's what I believe. It's just right now, because internally things are becoming more positive in my life. Like internally things are changing. It's like I'm going through a purging process of all this stuff. So that's why, I'm talking about it online. Called Samaritans a couple of times, and both times they said, "Oh, have you thought about writing it in a diary?" Yeah, that's direct. That's directed conversation. You have won the battle, sis. That's true. I can't lie, Lauren. That's true. I've lost the war big time. Lost the fucking war, but in the battle for my soul, it's over. It's over. It's over. And in terms of the battle for my soul, like I didn't even know, but it was always me who was going to win that battle. So yeah, love is the reason why I live the way that I live, and you know, again, if it was out of hatred, it would be different. But I'm good with this. More than good. You know. But what to do? What to do now that I don't have anything? Now that I've elected to bow out of trying to, I don't know, Lauren, as a fellow black woman, right? How do you feel about like bowing out? Because I know that you might be like taking a little bit of a distance from things. That's what I'm doing. So now that I'm taking a distance from the world, like the only thing that's left to do is figure out what's going on. What are we going to do with our lives now that we've elected to bow out and just let everybody else figure it out? Mm. I have to wait for Lauren to get back to me because this connection's slow. So it's through no fault of it's definitely through no fault of Lauren's. The connection over here is slow. It might take her a while to respond. But yeah, the only thing that's left now is for me to. Oh, hold on. Oh no, she hasn't. Yeah, she hasn't answered yet. So the only thing that's left to do is knowing all of this. That love is the reason. What to do with it? It's what to do with it. You know. Yeah. What next? I wonder. What next? Have I got this thing on? Have I been talking? Oh, hold on. Clearly you can hear me because the mic's all going. But yeah, I've got to figure that one out. So now I gotta go. I've got a lot to ponder. So you guys take care. Peace and blessings. And when I say I love you, my fellow TIs, I mean that shit. Understand that. Especially my black TIs, my queer TIs, my female TIs, my progressive TIs. I love all of you. I really, really do. I'm not just saying that just to sign off on a video. I ain't got time to be lying like that. When I say that I love you, I absolutely mean it. No changes to be made. Okay, my good sis Lauren. No changes to be made. We have to continue to love and leave hell where it is. Oh my God. Big facts. Let go and let God. I agree. I agree. But yeah, when I say I love you, I mean that with my whole heart. And shout out to Lauren Birch for stopping in. If you don't mind, my good sis, I'm going to screenshot some of these replies because I might hang them on my wall. I might hang them on my wall. Hold on. Love will forever conquer hate. I know that's the fuck right. Yes, it will. Always. Yeah. I'm going to go, but I want to shout out my good sis, Lauren Birch. This connection is slow, so I don't know if she'll be able to reach me in time by the time I say goodbye, but I'm going to go now and I'm probably going to message you, Lauren. So stand by for that. Anyway, peace and blessings. Take care. Bye bye, my darlings.